That year, my parents died in a car accident. My relatives all thought I was a burden and refused to take me in. It was James who took me home. He took good care of me. Everyone in our circle said we were childhood sweethearts. On my 18th birthday, I secretly climbed into his bed and confessed my feelings to him. But he angrily yelled at me, "Elise, mind your manners." After that day, he gradually distanced himself from me, and soon after, news of his engagement came. I made a scene at his engagement party. But he wouldn't listen to my explanation and kicked me into the swimming pool as punishment. The next day, he sent me abroad. 3 years later, I attended his wedding ceremony holding a child in my arms. He looked surprised. "This is your child?" I looked at the child in my arms and said gently, "Yes, Gwen, come, call him uncle." Today is my 18th birthday, and I'm going to confess my feelings to James. I sneaked into his room. I even drank some alcohol beforehand to bolster my courage. Listening to the sound of water in the bathroom, my face flushed. Will he accept my confession? The sound of water in the bathroom stopped, and a moment later, James came out wrapped in a towel. He saw my flushed face and assumed I was feeling unwell. I mustered my courage and confessed to him, "James, I like you." He was just looking at me with concern, but now he's yelling at me, "Elise, do you know what you're saying?" I answered him seriously, "I know what I'm saying. I like you, I want to be with you, and I'm an adult now, I can." His face darkened, and he said coldly, "Elise, I think you've had too much to drink. What kind of relationship do we have? How could we possibly?" I retorted, "Why is it impossible? We're not related by blood." He shouted, "Whether we're related by blood or not doesn't change the fact that you're the one I raised. We're only 9 years apart, don't you like me?" He snapped. "You also said we're 9 years apart and I don't like you. When did I give you that impression? If you don't like me, why do you interfere in my dating life? When you see me walking with other guys, you warn them to stay away from me? And everyone in our circle is saying that we grew up together, why didn't you refute that?" He frowned, his tone somewhat irritated. "Elise, you're still a student. You should focus on your studies. These days, young boys don't know what love is. I'm just worried you'll be deceived. I don't think there's anything to explain about our childhood sweetheart relationship. Why should I explain something that never happened?" His face darkened, and his tone was filled with anger. "Elise, stop being so pathetic. What's the difference between you and those third-rate girls out there?" My mind went blank. I stared at him in disbelief as he compared me to those other women. James knew he'd gone too far. "Think it through and make sure it doesn't happen again," he said, before leaving the bedroom. We've had a pretty bad run-in since the day I confessed my feelings to James. He's been intentionally distancing himself from me, trying to avoid seeing me. On my high school graduation day, I was really hoping he could come to my school for my graduation ceremony, because he had promised me that a long time ago. He did come, but there was a woman standing next to him. "Elise, happy graduation, this is Carly." We hadn't seen each other much lately, so I had been looking forward to this meeting. I never expected it to be like this. He gave me a huge surprise. I watched him hold Carly's hand without saying a word. James, seemingly intent on shattering my illusion, turned cold. "Elise, is this what I taught you? You have no manners at all." I retorted, still holding my temper. I initially thought he brought Carly to my graduation ceremony to deliberately provoke me. After that, I didn't see him for a while and had no idea what he was doing. It was as if he was intentionally keeping it from me. But the next time I heard from him was that he and Carly were getting engaged. I feel like a joke. I thought I was important to James, but I'm actually not worth mentioning. I only found out about his engagement from my best friend Isla, otherwise, I would have been completely in the dark. "Elise, I know how you feel about James, but you should be aware that he's getting engaged to someone else. You shouldn't like him anymore, he's not worth it." I nodded. I arrived at their engagement party and saw James's picture on the screen. The image of me confessing my love to him flashed through my mind. His angry expression and those hurtful words were deeply etched in my memory, impossible to erase. I stood in the corner, watching the main characters of the day raising their glasses to toast their friends. I also raised a glass and toasted them in their direction. Looking at them now, I suddenly realize I'm not actually that upset. I'm starting to doubt my feelings for him. Do I really like him? I was finding the banquet a bit boring, and seeing Isla still chatting in the crowd, I thought I'd go to the backyard to wait for her. But instead, I found today's star of the day, Carly. Carly was 5 years older than me. Perhaps James really did think I was still a child. "Elise, what brings you here?" She looked at me warily, probably afraid I'd ruin her engagement party. "Of course, I'm here for your engagement party." "Congratulations." Although I didn't know her well, she was now James's fiancée. I didn't want to talk to her either, and turned to leave, but she grabbed me. "Elise, seeing your beloved with another woman, doesn't it break your heart?" She deliberately provoked me, but I wasn't angered by her. I looked at her and said seriously, "I'm just here as a guest to wish you happiness. You don't need to be so hostile towards me." I tried to pull my hand away from hers, but she held on tighter. "Do you think I would trust a woman who would sleep with you?" I turned sharply to her. "How did you know?" She smiled meaningfully. "What do you think?" I felt a chill run through me. Only James and I knew about this. A chill ran through me, a chill that penetrated to the bone. He told Carly everything. Did he really love her that much? Carly seemed determined to humiliate me. "Seduce the person who takes care of you, don't you feel disgusted? How shameless." "Elise. You really are someone who has a mother but no mother to raise you, you." Before she could finish speaking, I slapped her. "You can call me cheap, but you shouldn't have said anything about my mother." Carly covered her face, her expression contorted, glaring at me, and started hitting me too. I'm not someone who's easily bullied, so I fought back. In the chaos, I heard Carly whisper in my ear, "Elise, you're done for." I heard someone gasp. Only then did I realize that she had tricked me. I retorted defiantly, "So what? Do you think he's the kind of person who can't distinguish right from wrong? Do you think you're that important to him? What do you mean?" I had barely finished asking when she grabbed my hand and fell backward into the swimming pool behind us. I froze, stunned. "Carly!" James's voice came from behind us, and a crowd gathered. He jumped into the pool and pulled Carly out of the water. "James, I'm so scared." I just wanted to say hello to Elise, but I didn't expect her to. Carly pretended to be pitiful and hid in James's arms. "She thinks I stole you from her, and she doesn't like me. You clearly grabbed my hand and jumped down yourself. Why are you slandering me? If you don't believe me, ask others. Someone must have seen it. It wasn't me who pushed you." I was furious. I never thought I would be schemed against like this. Not a single person stood up to testify for me. I scoffed inwardly, thinking, who dares to mess with James? "Elise, you're still trying to deny it? I'm so disappointed in you." Slap. James stood up, looked at me coldly, and slapped me across the face. I was stunned by the slap, my ears ringing. I stared at him in disbelief, never imagining he would hit me without even asking what happened. It felt like a knife had been plunged into my heart, the pain almost unbearable. At that moment, I didn't want to utter a single word in my defense. "Why are you always so willful? Have I spoiled you too much? Because of what happened last time, I deliberately kept my engagement a secret from you, but you still came, and you even pushed her into the swimming pool. You're not a child anymore. You have to accept the punishment when you do something wrong." Before I could even process what he said, he kicked me into the swimming pool. I can swim, but being suddenly pushed into the water left me completely blank. I forgot how to save myself and could only thrash around wildly. I thought he would come down to save me, but instead he just coldly watched me drift in the pool. My heart died, and I gave up struggling. I let myself fall, closing my eyes, just as I was about to suffocate. Suddenly, my mind cleared, and I felt a sense of relief. James, at that moment I realized, I don't like you anymore. Just as my consciousness was fading, I felt someone embrace me and pull me upwards. I choked on water and coughed for a while before recovering. My breathing was rapid. Elise, are you alright? No one else helped you, only I did. Remember my kindness. I paused for a moment, then turned to the person beside me. Gordon? What are you doing here? It's good you're alright. I came to see what was going on, but I didn't expect to see you. He carried me ashore. I saw James standing to the side, coldly watching me. Elise, this is your punishment. I hope you learn your lesson. I'll send you abroad tomorrow. His words were simply meant to make me give up on him. But I didn't care anymore. I calmly looked at him and said, I understand. His face was a little stiff, with a hint of disbelief. Now that you know, go apologize. I didn't respond to her. I didn't want to apologize, I hadn't done anything wrong. James, I'm very grateful for your care over the years, but there are some things that are true, and I'm sure you know them. I'm here today just to congratulate you on your engagement. Also, I will be going abroad as you requested and will not be appearing in front of you anymore. Elise, that's not what I meant. I interrupted him, not waiting for him to finish. I turned to look at Gordon. Take me away. I closed my eyes and leaned against Gordon's chest, not wanting to look at James again. When I got home, there was no one there. Come to think of it, James was getting engaged today, there was no one home. Looking at the huge house, there wasn't even a place for her. Thinking about leaving the country tomorrow, I went upstairs to pack my luggage. As I slowly packed my things, I recalled my first visit here 5 years ago. That year, my parents were in a car accident, and I became an orphan. Distant relatives didn't want to take me in, thinking I was a burden. Only James took me home and cared for me. Over the years, he has taken excellent care of me, putting my needs first in almost everything. He is handsome, and I have always been the only woman in his life. So, when I was still somewhat naive about love, it was perfectly normal for me to fall for him. However, I mistakenly thought that his kindness towards me stemmed from liking me. I often asked him if he liked me. He once replied, yes, who wouldn't like someone as attractive as me? At the time, I naively believed that he meant the kind of liking one would have for a lover. It turns out that nothing is more devastating than a broken heart. A single word can kill a person, or shatter their illusions. I packed everything up. I left behind all the things he had given me over the years. I only took my own belongings. My parents left me a lot of money, and I left a card on the table as child support for the past 5 years. The next morning, my best friend took me to the airport. She hugged me and cried, saying, Elise, be careful over there, eat well, and I'll come see you when I have time. I nodded in agreement. I figured I probably wouldn't be coming back, so I decided to say goodbye to James. I called him, but he didn't answer for a long time. Just as I was about to hang up, the call connected. I was about to speak when I was interrupted by the conversation on the other end. James, are you really that cruel to Elise? How can she, a girl, manage abroad alone? I listened in silence, hearing James's cold voice on the other end. She's an adult now, and she's perfectly safe abroad. What's there to worry about? Sending her abroad is meant to teach her a lesson, so she won't have those dirty thoughts. I hung up immediately, it was pointless. I said goodbye to my best friend and boarded the plane. Actually, I had been preparing to go abroad ever since I confessed my feelings to James. He arranged for me to go to the UK, but I actually ended up in France because I applied to a French university. James happened to say he'd send me abroad, so I went along with it. After all, once I was abroad, he wouldn't be able to control me anymore. It's been a week since I landed, and I've spent half a month getting everything settled. I called my best friend Isla. Elise, are you settling in well over there? It's great, I really like it here. We chatted for a bit and then the conversation turned to Gordon. Isla, Elise, after Gordon pushed you into the swimming pool on the day of James' engagement, he sent you away, then came back and had someone beat James up. I only heard about it from others, I didn't see it myself. I immediately perked up. This was probably the first time James had been hit. And then? Then he got a scolding from his elders, who said he shouldn't have attacked you without investigating the matter properly, and they even threatened to send you abroad. I scoffed, they're just saying that. My going abroad just happened to be what Carly wanted, didn't it? Isla continued, you know what, Gordon is actually quite loyal. I didn't expect him to have such a manly side. I can't help but laugh at the thought of Gordon beating James. That's right, they have to be brothers. Isla chuckled knowingly on the phone, are you sure you're brothers? I think he might have a thing for you. I was taken aback, remembering him saying I owed him a favor when he saved me. I must be overthinking it, how could a rich young man like me? I was speechless, you're overthinking it. He's surrounded by beautiful women, why would he like me? Isla, you're so good-looking, it's only natural that I like you. Besides, James is so much older than you, why would you like an older man? Besides, Gordon is about our age, so we have common interests. If he's really interested in you, just go for it. He's no less handsome than you, James. As Isla's words became increasingly outrageous, I quickly said a few more words and hung up. After showering, I was about to go to bed when I heard a knock on the door. I was puzzled, I'd only been here for 2 weeks and didn't know anyone. Who could it be? I went to open the door and saw Gordon. He smiled and was about to speak when I closed the door. I was inside, thinking, am I seeing a ghost? How did I see Gordon? I opened the door again and saw he was still there, it was real. Gordon chuckled, what? You thought you were seeing a ghost? How did you know I was here? Of course, our telepathy told me you were here. What are you talking about? Who's telepathically communicating with you? I looked at him speechlessly. But he brazenly walked in. I got revenge for you, beat up James, and then my family kicked me out. Elise, I have no home, so I have to come to you for help. I didn't ask you for help. You haven't even told me how you knew I was here? Isla was the only one who knew I was here. Could it be her? You guessed it, it was your best friend who told me. I was furious, cursing Isla in my mind. Elise, I never expected that after you got me, you would abandon me and go abroad? You heartless man. Gordon's tone was exactly like a wronged woman, his face full of accusation. You're lying. At school, you kissed me, are you trying to deny it? Good heavens. That was an accident. Our school club was putting on a performance. I was a freshman, and he was a junior, my senior and also the president of my club. We put on a play together, and we rehearsed together. He played Sleeping Beauty, and I played the prince. I was going to kiss him, we were supposed to kiss on the cheek, but he suddenly turned me around and we ended up kissing. Lots of people saw it, and they all had that I'm just watching this drama unfold look on their faces. I was terrified. My face turned red, and I turned and ran away. I didn't talk to him for a long time. How dare you say that? That was my first kiss. I said angrily. He chuckled, that was my first kiss too. You didn't lose out. I rolled my eyes. Then what about that time at the karaoke bar when you were hugging and kissing me? You ruined my reputation. This really was an accident. I confessed my feelings to James on my 18th birthday but was rejected. So I invited Isla and Gordon to go singing and drinking together. Isla and I were drinking and cursing James, and we both got drunk. Gordon didn't drink, he just watched us drink. Isla was lying unconscious on the sofa, while I was acting crazy due to my drunkenness. Who knows what I did, but I clung to Gordon and wouldn't let go. The next day, when he sobered up, he told me what happened, but I didn't believe him. This bastard actually showed me the video. The scene was absolutely unbearable to watch. I was furious and pointed at him, yelling, I was drunk at the time, why didn't you push me away? It's your own problem. He was so angry at my self-righteousness that he laughed. I tried to push her away, but I couldn't. Look at this, how am I supposed to find a girlfriend in the future? I retorted, with beautiful women practically offering themselves to you, do you really need to look for one yourself? And last time, you owed me a favor, so I've come to repay it. I stared at him, wide-eyed. What do you mean? So you dragged this huge suitcase all the way here to ask me to take responsibility? You can think of it that way. After all, I offended James for you and even got kicked out of my family. I was speechless. And so, Gordon stayed with me. Gordon is only 2 years older than me, but he finished his studies a long time ago. He now works at his family's company. So, the current situation is that I go to class while he works from home. He picks me up from school, cooks, and I help him with the cooking. I didn't ask him to stay because I thought his cooking was good. Would I be such a shallow person? During holidays, I sometimes watch movies and TV series at home, and he'll watch with me when he's free. We even argue about our different opinions on what to watch. He's very serious when he's working, especially during video conferences. I don't dare disturb him, he doesn't even breathe loudly. He clearly doesn't need glasses, but he wears a pair of wire-rimmed glasses, making him look like a refined scoundrel. I have to say, Isla was absolutely right, this guy is really handsome. I was almost mesmerized. I wonder which girl will win him over someday. Until one day, this delicate relationship between us was broken. I was waiting for Gordon to pick me up outside the school after school. Suddenly, a French boy startled me. He was holding a bouquet of flowers and confessed his love to me. I was stunned, and for some reason, Gordon's image popped into my mind at that moment. I looked at the boy who was still waiting for my answer, gave him an apologetic smile, and declined his offer. He seemed a little disappointed by my rejection, but still gave me the flowers. He said we were a good match, and I couldn't very well refuse him again. I turned to leave, clutching the flowers, and saw Gordon staring at me with a sullen face. My heart skipped a beat, and my first thought was to hide the flowers. Just as I was about to do so, I thought, why should I hide them? We're not in a romantic relationship. Once I understood, I smiled and walked up to Gordon. Just as I was about to speak to him, he glanced at the flowers in my hand, pulled me into the car, and slammed the door shut. Gordon didn't say a word the entire way, he ignored me when I tried to talk to him. My temper flared up too. Why are you ignoring me? I didn't offend you. I'm ignoring you too, humph. As soon as I got home, I opened the door and got out of the car. I walked very fast, ignoring the people behind me. I returned to my room and was about to close the door when someone blocked it from the outside. I angrily said, Gordon, you have. Before I could finish the word illness, my mouth was covered. My eyes widened, my mind hadn't even processed what was happening before my hand reacted and pushed him away. Gordon, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. I like you, and seeing you with other guys makes me sad. I'm jealous. The sudden confession caught me off guard. I looked up at him, and our eyes met unexpectedly. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly looked away. I didn't know what was happening. I clenched my hands, then released them, and pursed my lips. You know who I like. Elise, have you ever thought that you don't actually like James? I looked at him in surprise. What? I mean, you might be confusing family ties with romantic love. He raised you, he's important to you, and you're mistaking that feeling for romantic love. I was somewhat incredulous. It can't be. If it's not love, then why do I feel sad and heartbroken when I see him with Carly? That's not love, it's possessiveness. It's because James has always been by your side and treated you very well. Suddenly someone takes him away from you, and you're afraid of losing this special favor that's unique to you. Isn't possessiveness a form of love? I countered. He shook his head and looked at me seriously. Of course not, loving someone involves a physiological response. Physiological liking is the foundation of love. It originates from human instinctual impulses and desires and is uncontrollable. For example, when I just kissed you, I felt your heartbeat faster, but you didn't feel disgusted by me, did you? I couldn't refute what he said, he was right. I didn't hate that feeling, I was even addicted to it. This isn't the first time we've kissed, and you didn't resist, which means you like me. If I'm not mistaken, since I came here, you've rarely thought about James, haven't you? Besides, you haven't had any other guys around you these past few years, have you? If you didn't have feelings for me, you would have cut all ties with me after our first meeting, without any second chance, or even now. You don't reject me, can you be my girlfriend? Gordon is right. I lost my parents when I was young, and James was the one who gave me warmth. I'm afraid of losing him, so I try my best to hold on to this only warmth I have. But with Gordon, I have a different feeling for him. But I used to think that when you're studying abroad alone, it's natural to be a little more friendly to acquaintances. There's bound to be some physical contact during casual play, but I don't mind it. Gordon was right about one thing, after being here for so long, I really hadn't thought of James. It was as if I'd completely forgotten him, which was quite strange. Perhaps I really had confused family and romantic love. I looked up at Gordon, my gaze unconsciously falling on his lips. My face flushed red, and I shuddered, realizing what I was thinking. Let me think about it. I stammered, then closed the door. Was I just too thirsty for a relationship after not being in one for so long? I'm going crazy, what's wrong with me? Could it be that I've really fallen for him? He said liking someone is a physical attraction, driven by impulse and desire. By the time I realized what was happening, I was already at his bedroom door. Gordon smiled enigmatically, raising an eyebrow at me. What? Made up your mind? Gordon snatched my phone from my hand. My face flushed red. I decided it was best not to say anything. The more I said, the more mistakes I made. I turned to leave, but Gordon pulled me into his arms. Elise, did you come to me to give me an answer? Elise, don't tell me you came here just to get what you want, then take advantage of me and not take responsibility. I didn't dare speak, nor did I dare admit it. He broke down, somewhat exasperated. You really think that way, Elise? Do you know how many women want to be my girlfriend? I remained silent. What did that have to do with me wanting to be with you? Seeing that I didn't speak, he resorted to shameless behavior. I don't care, if you want me, you have to give me a title. I want to be your boyfriend. Fine, what can I do? I like you. He shouted angrily, what's with that look? Don't you believe me? He was really like a firecracker, ready to explode at any moment. Fine, if you don't believe me, you can try. I was starting to back down and wanted to run away, but Gordon grabbed me. Since being with Gordon, it's like opening a door to a new world. I finally understand what people mean when they say, you don't understand, having a partner is such a wonderful thing. I always love kissing him and wanting to be close to him. Gordon always responds to me patiently. We were living a very sweet life together, and I was quite dependent on him. I told Isla about being with Gordon. She was very excited and said she would give him a good beating when we got back. We chatted for a long time before hanging up. Just recently, I suddenly discovered that Gordon was hiding something from me. He started sneaking out, sometimes making excuses to leave even when I was around. I also overheard him secretly making phone calls, laughing happily. I felt a little disappointed. Had he gotten tired of me? Had he fallen for someone else? I was sad for several days, and I felt I should tell him. On this day, I wanted to talk to him and make things clear, but I saw him dressed very formally and smiling sweetly at me. Elise, it's New Year's Eve today, let's go out and have some fun. I wasn't interested at all, I was heartbroken, what was the point of having fun? But I couldn't resist his sweet talk, so I agreed. I wanted to see what he was up to. We arrived at the Champs-Élysées, where many people were waiting for the new year to arrive. The gloom of the past few days was dispelled by the lively atmosphere. The New Year countdown had begun, and everyone started counting down together. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Elise, will you marry me? I was immersed in the joy of the countdown when, at midnight, I heard Gordon's voice. I turned to look at him. He was kneeling on one knee, holding a diamond ring. What did you say? I asked, surprised. I said, Elise, will you marry me? He asked earnestly. Didn't you fall for someone else? When did I fall for someone else? I told him about his strange behavior these past few days, and he was speechless at my thoughts. These past few days, I've been going out to check out proposal venues, and I've been calling to ask if my custom-made diamond ring is ready. Of course, I can't let you know about the proposal, otherwise the surprise will be ruined. I breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed I hadn't really broken up with him. Elise, how could you bear to let me kneel for so long? I only just realized he was still kneeling, and just as I was about to ask him to get up, I heard the cheers from the people around us. Marry him. Marry him. I looked at Gordon, who was kneeling on one knee, smiled, and held out my hand. Gordon, I do. He smiled happily and slipped the ring onto my ring finger. He hugged me and spun me around joyfully. My face was also full of smiles. This time I had both love and to be loved. I left the country 3 years ago, intending never to return, especially since things had gone quite badly with James. I never imagined I'd come back for James's wedding. Looking at the photos outside the banquet hall, I felt a little dazed. 3 years have passed, and he hasn't changed a bit. I entered the banquet hall. The wedding decorations were grand. It seemed he really liked Carly. I watched as guests surrounded him, toasting him, but he didn't seem to notice me. I took a glass of wine and went up to him. James. James stiffened, turned to look at me, a hint of shock in his eyes. Elise, I said softly, raising my glass, happy wedding. I finished my drink and was about to leave, having already offered my congratulations. But James stopped me, and I looked at him, puzzled. His voice was a little hoarse as he said, Elise, can we talk? I looked around and then at him. It's not a good time to talk, and we don't really have anything to talk about. Just for a moment, there's something I want to tell you. I could tell he genuinely had something to tell me, so I agreed. We found a secluded spot. I didn't speak, waiting for him to. Elise, how have you been in England these past 3 years? I couldn't help but scoff inwardly. I'd been in France for 3 years, and he still thought I was in England. Uncle, is that all you wanted to tell me? Well, I'll tell you, I'm doing very well. No, I was just concerned about you. He tried to explain hastily, but I didn't want to hear his pointless explanation. Today is your wedding day, and you're quite busy. If you're not busy, I'll be going now. Elise, Elise. I was about to leave when I heard Gordon's voice. James and I looked at him at the same time. I chuckled and looked at him, why are you here, and carrying Gwen? He walked over with her in his arms, looking at me gently. Gwen missed her mother, so I brought her here. James stared in shock at the baby in Gordon's arms, then at me. Elise, is this your child? His voice suddenly rose, tinged with disbelief. I took Gwen in my arms and chuckled gently. Yes, come here, Gwen, call him uncle. James was pale, veins bulging on his forehead, and looked flustered and at a loss. The atmosphere was somewhat awkward, then Carly, who had been brought in, broke it. Carly's expression changed when she saw me, then she looked at the child in my arms, her tone somewhat surprised. Elise, you had a baby? The child is so big already, why didn't you tell James and me? I didn't speak, but Gordon spoke up. Yes, this is Elise and my child. We came back to get married, and we'll send you both invitations. I couldn't help but chuckle at Gordon's assertive declaration, but I didn't argue with him, because what he said was true, we were getting married. Looking at James, whose face was pale, I said softly, Gwen is still young and can't stay up late. We'll take her home now. You two get back to your work. Also, I've been in France for the past 3 years, not in England. After saying that, Gordon and I left, leaving the two of them behind. That day, after returning home, Gordon and I busied ourselves with wedding preparations. The wedding date was set for the 10th of next month. My aunt and uncle are handling most of the arrangements, we just need to confirm things. We're writing the invitations, and to be honest, besides my best friend Isla, I don't have any other friends invited. I don't plan to invite my classmates either, since we haven't been in touch. That day I received a call from James. He said he wanted to talk to me, and I was about to refuse when I remembered I already had an invitation to give him. So I decided to just deliver it. I sat down opposite James. "What's up?" His face stiffened for a moment, then regained its composure. "Elise, I'm sorry, I haven't contacted you for the past 3 years. I didn't know you hadn't gone to England, which I had arranged for you. Please don't marry Gordon, okay? I love you. I was too cowardly to tell you back then. When I married Carly, it was for business cooperation, not what you think. I sent you abroad just to let you calm down. I just wanted to confess my feelings to you after the cooperation was over." I listened calmly as he said this. "I'm doing very well now. I have people who love me and people I love, and we have a child." James stared intently at me. "That child isn't your biological child." "So what?" "I'll raise her as my own." "Yes, that's right. Gwen isn't Gordon's biological child, we adopted her. Gwen is only a year and a half old now. She's the daughter of my senior from high school. Her husband was a soldier who died in the line of duty. At the time, my senior was pregnant. She was very strong and planned to give birth to the child and raise it herself. But fate was cruel, a car accident took her away. Due to the emergency, they had to perform an evacuation, and she passed away without even having a chance to see her child. Looking at the thin baby, I felt a pang of heartache. Like me, she had lost both her parents. I was just a little luckier than her, she had never even seen her own parents. After I told Gordon about it when I got home that day, we decided to adopt her. We became her parents and named her Gwen. So you're giving up on me? You clearly said you liked me before, why are you saying you don't want me anymore now? And why did you get married after only being together for a short time? You know, when you're young, you often confuse gratitude with love. I've thought a lot about it these past 3 years, and all I feel for you is gratitude. Impossible. I don't believe you don't like me. How could it be gratitude? I was getting impatient and stood up to leave. Elise, don't go. I was wrong, I was really wrong. I shouldn't have treated you like that. He grabbed my hand, trying to stop me from leaving. I shook off his hand and slapped him. James, stop being a jerk. You're already married. Don't make a scene. He said that to me before, and this time I returned the favor. I took an invitation from my bag and placed it on the table. I'm getting married next month. If you have time, you're welcome to attend. I walked to the parking lot, found my car, and was about to open the door when I was drugged. When I woke up again, I found myself kidnapped. I looked around, it was an abandoned factory. Who was it? James? Or Carly? But my gut feeling leaned more towards the latter. I heard the sound of high heels behind me. Just as I was about to turn around, someone grabbed my hair. It felt like they were tearing my scalp off. Elise, why did you come back when you were perfectly fine abroad? And now you're trying to steal James from me. Don't you already have Gordon? Why are you still bothering him? Carly's angry voice came through my ear. Wah, I shook my head, trying to explain, but my mouth was covered. You should have stayed abroad. You shouldn't have come back to ruin things between me and James. She was lost in her own world and couldn't hear my calls. You know what? I overheard your conversation with him today. I know we're business partners, but I didn't care. I thought one day I'd win him over. But what did I hear? He said he likes you and will confess to you after we finish our collaboration. Slap. She slapped me several times. She grabbed my neck and said viciously, why do so many people like you? You already have Gordon, why don't you just give James back to me? Why do you still have to mess with him, you slut? I want to see if other men will still want you after you've been with them. I panicked. What was this woman going to do? Was she crazy? Carly called 2 men over, said a few words, and the 2 men walked towards me with smiles. I was terrified and struggled desperately, but I couldn't break free. Where was Gordon? Did he know I'd been kidnapped? The 2 men walked up to me. I burst into tears, and Carly was recording a video on her phone. Elise, just keep crying. No one will come to save you. I'll post your video online so people can see what you look like. A man started to undress me. I backed away to prevent him from touching me, but he slapped me. Men are definitely stronger than women, and his slap drew blood from my mouth. I was starting to despair. Was I really going to be violated by these 2 disgusting men? Carly urged them on, and the 2 men immediately attacked. Just as they were about to pull my clothes, the warehouse door outside was broken open. A large group of police officers burst in, armed with weapons. Gordon and James arrived. Gordon helped untie the ropes binding me, and I immediately hugged him and cried. Why did you take so long to get here? I was almost. Gordon hugged me tightly and comforted me. I'm sorry, Elise, it's my fault. I'm late. Don't be afraid, your husband will avenge you. I leaned against him without saying a word, sobbing softly. Carly and the 2 men were arrested by the police. Gordon carried me back to the car, when James called out from behind. Elise, I'm sorry, I didn't know she would do such a thing. I will give you an explanation. James, I do not accept your apology. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been kidnapped and almost lost my innocence. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. I think I have already repaid the debt of gratitude from 3 years ago. Don't ever appear in front of me again. After I finished speaking, I closed my eyes and refused to look at him. So you really didn't love me? I'm sorry, Elise, I won't appear in front of you again. The result was that Carly and the 2 men went to jail. James and Carly divorced, and the Joe family went bankrupt. I know this was James's doing, it was his way of explaining things to me. Fortunately, the injury on my face wasn't serious and healed a week before the wedding. With family and friends as witnesses, Gordon and I got married. After the wedding, Gordon seemed to be the complete opposite of who I was before. When we were dating, I was the one clinging to him, always wanting to be affectionate and close to him. After we got married, it was him who became clingy. Perhaps it's because after that kidnapping incident, he's afraid I might cause trouble again. I take him everywhere I go, and even Gwen can't stand it anymore and laughs at him. Daddy, shame on you. Gordon hugs Gwen and denies it, saying, Baby, you're too young to understand. This is my love for your mother. I couldn't stand Gordon being so shameless in public. Gordon, be careful in public. He hugged me and kissed me, then carried Gwen ahead. I'm right, love should be spoken out loud. Elise, I love you. I watched their retreating figures and chuckled softly. Gordon, I love you too.